Once upon a time, in a small village, there resided an elderly woman. She was quite advanced in age, with silver hair and a face adorned with gentle wrinkles. However, her eyes shone brightly, filled with kindness. The villagers cherished her, as she remained joyful even in the face of adversity. She lived alone in a modest home near a grand banyan tree. Having no children and having lost her husband many years prior, she never voiced complaints. She would often sit beneath the tree, engaging with passers-by and maintaining a constant smile. In this village, the residents were diligent workers. Some were farmers, others carpenters, and many contributed to the local market. Occasionally, the rains would fail to arrive, leading to withered crops. There were times when individuals fell ill and were unable to work. Life was challenging, and many villagers often experienced sadness or anxiety. One day, a young woman named Radha approached her, visibly distressed and tearful. Radha expressed her worries, saying, "I am unsure of what to do. My husband has gone to the city in search of work, but he has not sent any money. My children are hungry, and I am frightened." The elderly woman looked at Radha and offered a gentle smile. "Please, have a seat, my dear," she advised. "What do you believe will happen?" Radha wiped her tears and replied, "I don't know. I fear that negative events will unfold. What if my husband cannot secure employment? What if he forgets us?" The elderly woman shook her head gently. "When we dwell on negative thoughts, our feelings worsen. However, if we focus on positive thoughts, we can uplift our spirits, and sometimes good things occur." Radha inquired, "But how can I cultivate positive thoughts when everything appears so bleak?" The elderly woman smiled once more and replied, "Allow me to share a story." Intrigued, Radha listened as the elderly woman began. Once, there was a destitute man who possessed nothing. He had no food, no money, and no family, and he sat by the river in tears. An old woman approached him and asked, "Why are you crying?" The man replied, "I have nothing. How can I find happiness?" The old woman smiled and said, "You have the river, the trees, and the sun. Look around you. There is beauty and life everywhere. If you concentrate on what you lack, you will remain sorrowful. But if you appreciate what you do have, you will discover peace." The man listened, and gradually, he ceased his crying. He began to notice the good surrounding him, and from that day forward, his life began to transform. The elderly woman turned to Radha and remarked, "You see, my dear, the man's life did not change due to magic. It transformed because he altered his mindset. When we think positively, our hearts feel lighter, enabling us to confront challenges more effectively." Radha pondered the story and asked, "Can my thoughts truly change my life?" The elderly woman responded with a gentle smile, "Indeed. If you wake each morning and affirm, 'Today will be a good day,' you will summon the strength to care for your children and await your husband's return with hope. Conversely, if you dwell solely on potential misfortunes, you will feel despondent and weak." Radha nodded slowly, understanding. "I will strive to maintain positive thoughts moving forward." "That is the first step, my child," the elderly woman replied. Radha departed from her home with a lighter heart. Each day, she recalled the elderly woman's words, waking up and affirming, "Today will be a good day." She worked diligently, cared for her children, and prayed for her husband's safe return. After several weeks, Radha received a letter from her husband, informing her that he had secured a job in the city and would be sending money home. Overjoyed, Radha rushed to share the news with the elderly woman. The elderly woman smiled and nodded, saying, "You see, my dear, when we think positively, we attract good things into our lives. Challenges will always arise, but if we face them with a hopeful heart, we can overcome them." Soon, other villagers began to hear of the elderly woman's wise counsel. Many sought her out to discuss their problems, and she consistently offered the same advice: "Think positive thoughts, and good will follow." The villagers grew to love her even more, as her words had profoundly transformed their lives, teaching them the power of positive thinking.